of Jacob. But Esau is the ringleader. And somebody asked the question, like, man, if Esau wrote the Bible, why would he write himself being wiped off at the end? Well, Satan knows his future. And his future is obvious. So ain't no need to lie about it or write it out of history, because he knows what his end is going to be. Y'all hearing that? So we're going to deal with a little bit about the stolen works that Esau stole. Why is Edom cut off forever? And that needs to be the question that we ask ourselves. Why is Edom, who is Esau, who is these other nations, why are they cut off forever? And over here we're going to find out why they're cut off. Obadiah chapter 1 verse 10, what does it say?
But thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee. Thou shalt be cut off forever. So
we see the reason why Esau, or Edom, is cut off is because of the violence that was done against Jacob. Shame shall cover. Oh man, I got a part 4. It just hit me. I got to talk about that part tomorrow, next week. Okay, violence against Jacob, his brother, shame is going to cover thee forever. So Esau did some violence to Jacob, and that's what we're going to talk about next week, the violence that he did, okay, to Jacob. Come on, what did it say?
In the day that thou stoodest on the other side, in the day that the strangers carried away captive his forces.
This is Esau on the day that thou stoodest on the other side. In the day that strangers carried away captive his forces. Come on.
And foreigners entered his gates.
And foreigners entered Jacob's gate. Come on.
And cast lots upon Jerusalem.
And cast lots for Jerusalem.
Even thou wast.
Even thou was.
Even thou was as one of them.
You was one of them. So Esau, Edom, saw Jacob going into captivity. And the father said, you was just like the ones that put him in captivity. Because you just stood there and you watched and looked. Probably would have been better if he closed his eyes, huh? But he couldn't, because he was excited and glad that this was happening. It's like, oh, finally. Come on, what is that?
Thou shouldest not have looked on the day of thy brother, on the day that he became a stranger.
See, he shouldn't have even looked at it, but because he looked at it and rejoiced in his heart, because he was glad that the one in whom he wanted to kill anyway was getting something bad done to him. Come on.
Neither shouldest thou have rejoiced over the children of Judah in the day of their destruction.
See, not only did he was looking, he was doing what? Rejoicing. Ah, finally. Finally. See, watch this. Come on.
Neither shouldest thou have spoken proudly in the day of distress.
See, he's speaking proudly in the day of Israel's distress. Come on.
Thou shouldest not have entered into the gate of my people in the day of their calamity.
So not only was he looking, he saw them being taken captive, he entered into the gate where they are, speaking proudly. He entered into the gate not speaking with love. He went in there speaking what? Proudly. Okay? Come on.
Yea, thou shouldest not have looked on their affliction in the day of their calamity.
Come on.
Nor have laid hands on their substance in the day of their calamity.
See, this is what he did. He laid hands on their substance when they were in the day of their calamity. He laid his hand to their things. He put his hand on their picture. He put his hand on their writings. He put his hand on the stuff that they had at that particular time. Why do you think he was laying hands on their substance for? Just to admire it? Say, oh, look at these beautiful little commandments, right? No, he was looking at it so that he can do something to it. Come on.
Neither shouldest thou have stood in the crossway to cut off those of this that did escape.
So people got away, Israelites, they got away from the ones coming in to get them. And instead of Edom allowing them to get away, Edom did like this. Now here they are, blocking the way so they can't get out. He said he stood in the crossway. Ain't that something now? Come on.
Neither shouldest thou have delivered up those of his that did remain in the day of distress.
See, delivered the ones up that got away. He delivered them up I got some folks that you can get right here. Here they are. Come on.
For the day of the Lord is near upon all the heathen.
The day of Yahweh is near upon all the heathens. Okay? Come on.
As thou hast done,
So he's talking to all the heathens. This is the word to all of the heathens. Come on.
it shall be done upon unto thee.
Mhm.
Thy reward shall return upon thine own head. For as ye have drunk upon my holy mountain.
So they drinking on the holy mountain. The same thing that's going to be done that you wanted and saw done to Israel is the same thing that's going to be done unto you. Come on.
So shall all the heathen drink continually. Yea, they shall drink and they shall swallow down, and they shall be as though they had not been.
They're going to be like they had never existed. Are y'all hearing this?
Wow.
This is a judgment on a people, on a nation group. He said he's going to wipe them out. It's going to be as if they never existed at all. This is not serious what they did is. The Apocrypha, the times of the Greeks. Everybody say Apocrypha.
Apocrypha.
This book is the book that they took out of the Bible, 1885. But when you go look at the original King James Version of the Bible, which was 1611, you'll find the Apocrypha in there. But in 1885, it was 20 years after they so-called emancipated us and proclamated us, that they took and removed these writings out of the book. Okay? I'm going to show you something in the Apocrypha so you can see the times of the Greeks and how Esau, or Edom, came in the gates of the Israelites proudly. First Maccabees, chapter 1, verse 11. Come on, read.
In those days, went there out of Israel wicked men.
So these are wicked men who are Israelites.
Right.
Y'all hearing this? Very important. Come on.
Who persuaded many, saying, let's go and make a covenant with the heathen.
So these Israelites, when First Maccabees chapter 1, verse 11. So these Israelites who are wicked, the Bible calls them wicked Israelites. They persuaded many other Israelites saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathens. What did the Bible say back in Deuteronomy? You supposed to make covenant with the heathens?
No.
He said, don't make no covenant with them. But in the times of the Greeks, these wicked Israelites said, let's go make a covenant with the heathens. They persuaded many. Come on.
That are round about us. But since we departed from them, we had much sorrow.
So these wicked Israelites saying, since though we have departed from the heathens, man, we got all this sorrow that happened to us. And how y'all feel when you had to stop doing Christmas and Easter and Sunday? I want to be back with the heathens. I enjoy Sunday. I enjoy shouting on Sunday. I enjoyed the pork chops on Sunday. I enjoyed the fellowship on Christmas and the family. And the heathens come by. Uncle Jeffro started cussing when you get too many drinks in. And the young old men at the table talking about, get around me, slapping down bones and throwing the dice down. And I miss these heathens. I want to be around the heat. I miss Easter. We got together, we dressed up, looked nice. This is what they were saying. They said, we have much sorrow since we have departed from the heathens. And you see some Israelites, they just look so sad being in the way. Just sad about it. Go back with the heathens then. Go be back with the, if you're going to be sad, man, go in on and be with the heathens, boy. This is what the wicked Israelites said. They persuaded many. Y'all know how it used to be. We were doing this. We would, man, all the stuff we did with them heathens, worshiping their gods, bowing down to that wood, bowing down to that stone. We got much sorrow since these heathens came out of our life. They showed us how to party. They showed us how to get down. They showed our girls how to drop it like it's hot. I don't hear that. This is the idea that they had. They said, since though we've gotten away from the heat, we got much sorrow. Let's go back and hang out with the heathen. Come on, what did it say? Now we're going to skip down here to 1 Maccabees, still the same first chapter. Now we're going to the 41, 41st verse. What did it say?
Moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom.
This king Antiochus, as you read more in the book of Maccabees, you find that he was just a wicked, wicked, wicked man. He came in there and just defiled up the place. But nevertheless, we skipped on down to these verses. What did King Antiochus do when he came in and sacked Jerusalem and their temple and all that? What did he do?
Wrote to his whole kingdom.
He wrote to his whole kingdom and said what?
That all should be one people.
This is the problem right here. He wrote to his kingdom and said, let everybody be one people. Let's all of us become one. The heathens with the Israelites. Watch this.
And everyone should leave his laws.
Everybody should leave their laws. This is why when you ask somebody about the law, they'll tell you, the law's been done away with. This is when it was done away with. It's giving you the history of why they say that. There is no more law no more. We all one. We all one people. He said everyone should leave his laws. Come on.
So all the heathen agreed.
So wouldn't the heathen agree with that? Because they didn't have no laws anyway. They said, yeah, we'll leave all of our paganism for a little while. But we know paganism is going to be included anyway. So yeah, we'll leave off of that. And the heathens were all on one accord. Come on.
According to the commandment of the king.
So they did all this according to the commandment of the king. To become one people and to forget and leave your laws. Watch this.
And everyone should leave his laws. So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king.
Come on.
Yea, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion and sacrificed unto idols and profaned the Sabbath.
So all of a sudden now, many of the Israelites are consenting to his religion. Now all of a sudden we got a religion now.
Right.
Are y'all seeing what's going on? Yeah. This is why they took it out of the book. They don't want you to know all this. They consented to his religion and sacrifice unto idols. They weren't doing that before. And profaning the Sabbath day. Doing things on the Sabbath day that they would not normally do. Come on.
But the king had sent letters by messengers unto Jerusalem and the cities of Judah that they should follow the strange laws of the land.
So they knew that the laws that were being introduced to them were called what?
Strange.
Strange laws of the land. Because they had the commandments. Y'all follow this? Watch this.
And forbid burnt offerings.
Ain't that what they were doing at first?
Yes, sir.
Burnt offerings, burnt sacrifice. He said they forbidden burnt offerings. Come on.
And sacrifices.
And
drink offerings.
Come on.
In the temple, and they should profane the Sabbath and festival days.
So they profaned the Sabbaths and all the holy days that we're getting ready to have. That's why they say, hey, man, it's been done away. We ain't got to do all that no more. We're Americans. That was for Israel. We're in America now. Right. I'm an American. That was for back then. I don't hear. Yes. This is where they get it from. Come on.
And pollute the sanctuary and the holy people.
Pollute the sanctuary and the holy people. Remember the holies of holies that nobody could go into? And if the priest went in there, they'd drop dead. Well, guess what Antiochus did? He walked right up in there. Set right where the altar was, where the Most High was. And just set up in there and told them to sacrifice swine, especially do all that to pollute the sanctuary and the holy people. Come on.
Set up altars and groves and chapels of idols.
So that's what they did. They set up altars, groves, and chapels of idols. That's what you see in church on every corner. Right. Those are nothing but temples of Aphrodites on every corner. With the steeple at the top. Yeah. Steeple is a penis that's pointed upright to the heavens. That's what it means. They call it an obelisk. And when you go look at the history of what an obelisk is, that's what they're doing on every corner, on every church. Has a steeple on top of it. They tell them the Most High what they think of him.
Yeah. Wow.
Are y'all hearing this?
Yes.
So they set up altars and groves and chapels of idols, and they sacrifice what? And unclean beasts. This is what they're doing in the sanctuary. They wasn't doing this stuff before. But when the Greeks came in, the Greeks was just a foul group of people. Come on.
They should also leave their children.
They supposed to not lead it. Remember, the Israelites sacrificed their children. They circumcised their children on what day? The boys? On the 8th day. But when the Greeks came, they said they should leave their children uncircumcised so they could be just like the heathens. Come on.
And make their souls abominable with all the manner of uncleanness and for salvation.
So this is what they taught and told the Israelites, we're going to come in covenant and agreement with that. And they wanted a license to be able to just to give us license to do as the heathens. That's why we have licenses now. You need a marriage license. Hold on, how was they getting married way back then? But now you need a marriage license, need a driver's license, need a fishing license. They didn't have all that stuff back then.
Mm-hmm.
This is why, ultimately, they wanted them to do that. Come on.
To the end, they might forget the law.
So, to the end, that they might forget the law. And guess what y'all done? Forgot the law. So I guess they did a good job, a pretty good job with getting us to forget the law. Come on.
And change all the ordinances.
And to change all of the ordinances. Ooh, that's a good history, wasn't it? On how we are, how we got to how we are today. This is what happened. And the First Maccabees tells you the whole story of how Israelites became defiled. To the end that they might forget the law. Tell somebody, what's the commandments? I don't even know. I ain't even heard of no doggone command. What do you mean? What are you talking about? I'm just living my life, bro. I'm trying to get my money on, bro. Check yourself, bro. When you wreck yourself, they ain't talking nothing about this book, but it's true. This is the Antiquity of the Jews by a man by the name of Josephus, who was, at that particular time in history, he wrote about what the Greeks did to the Israelites in the time of the Greeks. Antiquity of the Jews, 12.54. Come on, read.
He also appointed overseers, who should compel them to do what he commanded.
So not only did the king write a letter, but he appointed people in those particular areas, who was Israelites areas, and he compelled them to make sure they followed through on what the king told them to do. Come on.
And many Jews that there were who complied with the king's commands, either voluntary or out of fear of penalties that was denounced.
And what we're going to see next week is the penalty of death that these Israelites went through in order not to defile themselves, but actually to keep the commandments. You're going to see next week, you're going to see these people giving up their life for the commandments of Yahweh. But some of them, a lot of them did it voluntarily because they were scared to die. All right? Come on.
The best men, those of the noblest souls, did not regard it.
Remember, there was 3 boys called what? Give me their Greek and Babylonian names. Shamrat, Meshach, and Abednego. Now what are the Hebrew names? Hananiah, Azariah, come on. Meshach, there you go, Meshach. Those 3 boys, Hebrew boys, along with who else? Belshazzar. What was his real name? Daniel. Those 3 didn't regard the king when he set up that image, and they told him, when you hear the music play, bow down and worship the king. They said, they couldn't get his name out. Nebuchadnezzar, we ain't careful to answer you this matter. We ain't serving nothing that you got set up. Now you can do whatever you want to us. We know that our Yah will deliver us out of whatever situation you're trying to get. And even if he don't, we still ain't going to serve your idol that you set up. That's how we taught. That's how Hebrews taught. Y'all hearing it? All right? So the ones that had noble souls, they did not regard what the king gave, but what?
But they pay a greater respect to the customs of their country.
They paid a greater respect to the customs of their countries. Come on.
They concerned as to the punishment he threatened to the disobedient.
Y'all hearing that? He punished with, he threatened to the disobedient. So if you didn't do it, you were going to be punished. You were disobedient to the laws of the land. Ain't that how we are today? Scared of the laws of the land. Even though the laws of the land go contrary to the laws of Yah.
Yeah, they do.
And we will bend, rationalize, anything, because we don't want to deal with the consequences and the penalty for not doing what this country has said, even though it may go contrary to the word of Yah. They tell you, you're going to work on Sabbath.
Right.
You ain't going to have no Sabbath day. Now, you can say, I ain't working at all. I'm going to keep the Sabbath. But, here is, you're might not have a job. Am I right? All right? So what do? Do you obey the commandment of the land? Or do you obey Yah? Or do you get your pastors to write a good letter that they'll be scared to be sued after I get through talking to them about the Sabbath day? hey, brother man, tell them about it. Tell them about the letter.
Oh yeah, it started so. It sure did. My boss, or supervisor, didn't want to honor the letter that I gave the company, and his wife, who is Catholic, she read the letter, and she told this person, my boss, the supervisor, that I could be able to sue them if they don't honor that letter. But see, like Pastor was saying, our custom was taken away. If the Catholic can understand what we're talking about, then we should be able to understand what that letter means. So that letter was describing for the Sabbath days, the feast days, holy days, the tabernacles, Passover, the trumpets, and the Day of Atonement. Well, so far, this person wanted me to work a Saturday, Sunday, and a Monday, but I couldn't because that was rolling into the high Sabbath, the atonement day, and that same week he had the tabernacle. So he was trying to write me up and fire me and everything, but when his wife read that letter, the whole story had switched. So the owner caught on to it. And so, right now I have those days not tampered with anymore.
Hallelujah. So I guess we got three choices now, right? But the main choice we should have is to obey Yah. Everybody said we're going to obey Yah. All right, that's what you have to have. See, if your mind ain't on obeying Yah, then you're going to continue on doing what you've been doing. But when your mind gets girded up and says, no, I'm going to obey Yah, no matter what comes and what goes, come hell or high water, as the old folks used to say, I'm going to obey the Father, then that's how your mind and your heart has to be. And I'm telling you, this way is a way that's going to test and prove each and every person in here. See, a lot of y'all came in here and y'all came to test and to prove me. But what you don't understand is that you're being tested, proven, and tried. I've already been through the water. I've already been tested and tried already. And I'm still here. Are y'all hearing it? Now you come in trying to test me and look at me. Well, what are you talking about? Let's find out if we tell the truth. What's really happening is you have got to be tested and proven and tried to see what's in you now. Because I've already been tested, proven, and tried. And I'm still here. Y'all hear that?
Yeah.
So know that. Know that.
Hallelujah.
Without a shadow of a doubt. You're about to be tested, proven, and tried. The fire of Satan is going to get on you to try to compromise, to try to walk away. That's why I tell people before they come, it's better for you not to have ever came. It's better for you not to have known the way of righteousness than to come in here and fool around with me and end up hearing the truth. Because I'm going to preach to you the truth. You're going to hear it. And you can never unhear what you have heard. That's the power of music. Once I do a song and they hear that groove, hear that beat, hear them lyrics, they can't undo what they have heard because now it's in you. It's just like elevator music. You get on the elevator, you hear the music playing, ain't no way you can stop that because once it's in you, and especially a song you know, it's going to keep singing in you. And like, I didn't give that song permission to get in my head. It's just, song be down the street, like playing their car loud, and you hear something, and all of a sudden, man, that song is in my head now. Because you can never unhear what you've heard. And that's the power of, the Bible says, how can they hear without a preacher? Because they ain't going to be able to unhear what the preacher say. And how can he preach except he's been what? Sent. Y'all hearing that? All right? So, they were scared of the punishment. It says, which account they every day underwent great misery and bitter, what? Torments. That's what they had to go through if they were going to hold on to what they were going to do or give in to what the king was saying. What else did they go through? Come on.
They were whipped with rods.
They were whipped with rods. What did the Bible say about Esau? Before the violence you have committed against your brother. We're going to share some of those stories next week on what they went through. But this is summing it up. What did it say? They were what?
And their bodies were torn to pieces.
Their bodies were torn to pieces. They were whipped with rods. The children of Israel. Come on.
They were crucified.
They were crucified. Come on.
While they were still alive and breathing.
While they were still alive and breathing. Come on.
They also strangled those women and their sons whom they had circumcised.
Woo, they strangled the women and the sons of whom they circumcised anyway. They strangled them. Come on.
The king had appointed hanging their sons by their necks as they were upon the crosses.
So now y'all want to wear gold cross around your neck, don't you? And show the whole world that you got a gold cross, and you think that gold cross has something to do with Jesus. And Jesus didn't die on the cross. He died on a tree. See, they take the tree out of your mind and put a cross up there. But when you go do the study on the cross go all the way back to ancient Egypt. Has nothing to do with Yeshua HaMashiach. Because he died on a tree. He died on a stake. One single stake. He didn't die like this. He died like this. My. Whole different now, ain't it? When you wear crosses and you see people with gold crosses on their neck, they don't realize they're wearing accursed objects. And the Bible says if you wear the accursed thing, you're going to be accursed just like it. Some of us have put curses on our children. We've put curses on our family, and we don't even know it. I did a message at Sister Pierce's house a long time ago dealing with accursed objects. And as I was preaching a message and giving them the list of the accursed things, everybody just kept on getting up and walking out and getting up and walking out. And before I know it, I had nobody. I was like, what are y'all doing? They said, Pastor, we got all these things as you're talking about it. Wow. We put them in the garbage. So I guess salvation came to that house, huh?
Yes.
When I tell them about crossing, they get crossed. When I tell them about it, if they really get it, the Bible says, my sheep hear my voice. When they heard it, boy, I had a sister who was at a restaurant. I was sitting there talking to one person at the restaurant, and then when I was talking to him, the couple at the other table heard what I was talking about, and they turned around and said, what did you just say? Can you tell us what? I started talking to them. All of a sudden, they had crosses. They took them crosses off their neck. They said, man, I said, go to the pawn shop and go get some money for it, and don't ever put that, because you becoming a curse just like it. So what it shows me is the power of the word, that I can be having a conversation with somebody else, and I'm talking low. I'm just talking to that person. But the word has a spirit to it. What did the Messiah say? The words that I speak are what? Spirit and life. They're spirit and life. There's something to the words when you begin to speak them. They're life. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
So this is what went on. They hanged their sons about the neck as they were upon the crosses. Come on. Watch this.
If there were any sacred book of the law found, it was destroyed.
If they found any sacred book of the law, it was what? Destroyed. And those whom they were found miserably perished also. That means if you had the book and they found you with the book of the law, you were killed and you were going to perish miserably. Y'all hearing this? This is Flavius Josephus who wrote about these things. What the Israelites had to go through at the time of the Greeks. And this is why they took that book out. Y'all get some?
Hallelujah.
All right. I'll give y'all something else. I'm going to give y'all the 22 missing books that I mentioned in the Bible that we ain't never found. Y'all ready for that?
Yes.
Maybe I won't give it to you. I just keep it to myself. Huh? 22 missing books. 22 missing books that the Bible speaks about, but we don't see. And we ain't never found these books. Y'all want them?
Yes.
All right. I'll give it to you. The first one is the matter of the kingdom. The matter of the kingdom. 1 Samuel 10-25. It says that Samuel told the people the rights and duties of the kingship. And he wrote them in a book and laid it upon Yah. Then Samuel sent all the people away, each one to his home. Matter of the kingdom. That's a book that we ain't got. Yeah. Another book is called the Acts of Solomon. The Acts of Solomon. 1 Kings chapter 11, verse 41. Now the rest of the Acts of Solomon are all that he did and his wisdom, are they not written in the book of the Acts of Solomon? So I guess we don't got that book, do we? All right? Chronicles of the kings of Israel. The acts of the and the rest of the acts of Jeroboam, how he warred and how he reigned. Behold, they are written in the books of the Chronicle of the kings of Israel. The Chronicles of the kings of Judah. 1 Kings 14 and 29. Now the rest of the acts of Rehoboam and all that he did, are they not written in the books of the Chronicles of the kings of Judah? Where's that book at? I want to read it. I want to see what it was talking about. But we know what happened to them, right? They could have been burned. They could have been destroyed. And anybody that had it, they was killed miserably too. The books of the kings of Israel. Books of the kings of Israel, 2 Chronicles 20 and 34. Look at y'all just writing now, boy. They'll get them notepads and hands going. Hallelujah.
So are any of these books found?
No, they're missing books. But the Bible mentions them.
Yeah.
Okay? So then people just say, I know all of the truth. I know exactly what this book's saying. Well, you don't know because you ain't got all the information. The annals of the King David. Joab, the son of, began to count, but did not finish. Yet wrath came upon Israel. For this and the number was not entered into the Chronicles of the King David. So annals of the King David, a book we don't have. 3 books we ain't got right here. The Chronicles of Samuel, the book of Daniel the prophet, or the book of Gad the seer. Those are 3 different books. Now the acts of King David, from first to last, are written in the Chronicles of Samuel the seer, the Chronicles of Nathan the prophet, and the book of Gad the seer. So there's 3 books that we don't even have. Mentioned in 1 Chronicles chapter 29, verse 29. Ain't that something else?
They just destroyed them, right?
Destroyed. We don't know where they are. They could be under the Catholic Church. Just sitting there hiding out on the shelf. But these are books that Israelites had at one time or another.
Just a quick question.
Yes, sir.
So, I'm listening to you. I'm seeing this, and these books are clearly written out in the Bible. When you have these ministers and these schools of religion and all these other things that they say they study these things, and these things are very clearly spelled out in the Word that's there. But there's no, how is it justified that these things are written there? It says, well, we have all the Bible, but it's clearly not there because it's being said.
That's what I'm talking about. The Bible says you shall know the truth, and the truth is going to make you free. What I do is I turn the light bulb on so that people can see these things and know we don't have these books because these books are missing. They're missing. We don't know where they are, but they are mentioned in the Bible.
And it's been taken out.
It's been removed. It's been destroyed. We don't have it. It's not made known to the public. I would like to see the book of Gad the seer. What was in that book? You know, we all know that these all are Hebrews and these are all Israelites. So what I'm telling you and showing you is that the Israelite people, the Hebrews, the Israelites, were important people. And it was so important that they wrote books, they wrote information, and the books and the information that they gave to one another was tampered with, was destroyed, was come against. Because whoever controls information is ultimately going to rule the world. You can control history, control information, how it's being funneled to you. Man, you got an edge. That's why we got all these groups called the Illuminati. The ones that got the light, the ones that understand Masonry and 33 degrees and all this stuff. All these groups and conspiracy groups and secret groups and secret societies. Because they have information that we don't have. Are you hearing that? There's a... Okay, let's go ahead. I'm going to get y'all ready. History of Nathan the prophet. I'm just going to give you the books. I ain't going to give you... And I'll give the scripture. 2 Chronicles 9 and 29. History of Daniel the prophet. Of Nathan the prophet. Another one is prophecies of Ahijah and the visions of Edom. 2 Chronicles 9 and 29. I mean, it's right there. Books that we just don't have. Where they go? But I gave you the Josephus quote, so you can see that what they were doing with the books and the materials when they came in to sack Jerusalem, and what they did to the Israelites. Look at this one, genealogies. Wouldn't that be a good book to see right now? To see the genealogies of who this man was, a prophet? It says, 2 Chronicles 12:15. Now the acts of Rehoboam from the first to the last, are they not written in the records of Shemaiah the prophet and of Edo the seer, according to the genealogies of Roman? So we don't even have the book of Shemaiah the prophet. See? 2 Chronicles 12:15. It says they wrote in the record of Shemaiah the prophet. We don't even have those books. But it's clearly mentioned in the book, in the Bible. So if a book is mentioned in the Word, and it's telling you about another book, that validates that book.
It was there. It was part of it.
The book of Jehu, 2 Chronicles 20 and 34. The book of the story of the book of Kings, 2 Chronicles 24 and 27. The book of Jehu. Wouldn't that be a good book to know? He the one that killed Jezebel. Yeah. Man, wouldn't you want to know what else happened? Now the rest of the acts of Josaphat from the first to last are written in the Chronicles of Jehu. I'm telling you, you want to know what's going on, man. What kind of book he got? What he saying? What happened after that? You know what? Give us what happened. You know, the stories of the book of the Kings, 2 Chronicles 24:27. The acts of Uzziah. Now the rest of the acts of Uzziah. Remember, Isaiah said, I saw Yahweh high and lifted up in the year that King Asa died.
Yeah.
This is the acts of Uzziah, the same one. 2 Chronicles 26 and 22. The acts of the kings of Israel. Or the acts of Manasseh, really, that's the book. And his prayer to Yah. Woo-wee! Y'all see what I'm saying? What did Manasseh pray to the Most High Yah? 2 Chronicles 33 and 18. What did that king pray? Man, the Chronicles of the seers. People who were prophets. They were able to see way ahead of time. And his prayer and how God was moved by his entreaty and all his sins and his faith. I can't even see this way. Somebody read this way. And his sins and
his faithfulness.
And the sites on which he built high places and set up the Ashram and the images before he humbled himself. Behold, they are written in Chronicles of the Seers.
Ooh, Chronicles of the Seers. I want to read that one. Where the Chronicles of the Seers at?
Yeah.
Look at that. The Laments of Josiah. Come on, read that one, somebody. 2 Chronicles 35 and 25.
Jeremiah also uttered a lament for Josiah, and all the singing men and singing women have spoken of Josiah in their laments to this day. They made these a rule in Israel. Behold, they are written in the laments.
Ooh, I want to hear what the singing men and women were singing. Y'all hear that? Important book. Probably some beautiful songs in that, boy. The book of the wars of Yah. The books of the wars of the Lord. Therefore, it is said in the book of the wars of the Lord. So there is Numbers chapter 21. They had the books. We ain't got to know. And the book of Jasher. There's a book of the giants too. I forgot all about that book. That book is out though. We actually got that one. But the book of Jasher. And the sun stood still, and the moon stopped until the nations took vengeance and their enemies. Is this not written in the book of Jasher? Joshua 10 and 13. Also reference 2 Samuel 1 and 18. And this brings me to the last part of this message. We're about to wrap it up. Y'all ready to wrap it up?
I thought we had the book of Jasher.
Yeah, we got it. Recently.
Oh, but it's not. It's not in the. Okay, it's not in the.
Right.
They took it from.
Because somebody last week said, Pastor, you preaching out of a book called Jasher. Internet person. Why are you preaching out of that book? We ain't never never heard of that. That ain't in the Bible. That ain't part of the canon. That hasn't been canoned by the Roman Catholic Church.
Oh, wow.
So I'm going to explain to you how we know the book of Jasher is authentic. Even though it was written in the book of Joshua and in the book of 2 Samuel, I'm going to go even further so that I can answer this question for the viewer. Is that all right?
Yes.
All right. The book of Jasher. Philippians 2 and 12. Read loud and strong.
Wherefore, my beloved, as ye have always obeyed, not in my presence only, but now much more in our absence, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling.
So the person that wanted to know about the book of Jasher and questioning me on it, what he was trying to do was work out his own salvation. He said, I need to know before I'm listening to your message, how do I know that I can agree with the stuff that you're teaching? Because you read out of a book I ain't never heard of. Okay? And I'm telling everybody should be like that. You should be interested in working out your own soul salvation with fear and trembling. And don't take my word for what it is until you have gone through and did the painstaking research and back it up so that you can prove all things and only hold fast to what is good.
Hallelujah.
Y'all hear that?
Yes.
Don't take my word for it. Please don't. Do not take my word for it. If you find something that I said that was off, you better bring it and talk about it. And we're going to talk about it too. Now, don't make sure you did your research now. Don't come to me with half research.
Right.
All right? But come to me with some research, and we're going to open up the book and see what it says.
So
right?
they come see me, Pastor, but they come see you.
Right. How do we know the book of Jasher is a book we should be teaching from? Because I went right from the book of Jasher, giving y'all the story of Esau, what happened. Y'all enjoyed that message last week?
Yes.
Good message, what? So that's a good question. How do we know? You should be teaching from it. Well, we're going to find out. We should always question what we have been told for our own sakes, because we all should be working on our what? Own salvation with fear and trembling. Okay, 2 Timothy 3, 7, and 9. What it say?
Ever learning and never able to come to none of the truth.
Ever learning. This is Apostle Paul writing to Timothy. Ever learning and never able to come to the knowledge of the truth. You got some people that's all they do is study, but they never come to the knowledge of the truth. They listen to all these camps, assemblies, and people. They're ever learning, reading book after book after book after. They're ever learning, but they're never able to come to the knowledge of the truth. Out of all them books they didn't read. Okay, watch this.
Now as Janus and Jambres withstood Moses, so do these also resist the truth. Men of corrupt minds, reprobate concerning the faith.
So Paul just said something. He said, now as Janus and Jambres withstood Moses. Hold on. I remember the story of the musicians who came up and stood against Moses. Do y'all remember their names?
Janice and James.
Yeah, but how do you know their names?
They was in the Bible.
No. Time out. Don't go with me like that. I want you just answer the question like I'll give it to you.
Because we saw in the Bible.
You saw it in Timothy.
Right.
But when we read the story of Moses, was it there?
No, it wasn't in there.
So this is what I'm asking. How would Paul know their names if it's not in the Torah? You get what you follow me? He's talking to Timothy and said, now as Janus and Jambres withstood Moses, so do these also resist the truth. Men of corrupt minds reprobate concerning the faith. So he's letting you know that there were two men that withstood Moses. And we need to know where is Paul getting this information from. Okay? What is that?
They shall proceed no further, for their folly shall be manifest to all men, as there also was.
As theirs also was. So he's not only just talking out of the side of his head, making up names. He's letting you know that, man, their folly is going to be manifested unto all men, as theirs also was. As Jambres and Jambres' what Janus and Jambres, they thought it was going to be manifested to all men too. So where's Paul getting his information? Let's go back and look at the story to see did we miss it. Because there's a possibility that we just read the Torah too fast and we just didn't see those names. Let's go back and see it. Exodus chapter 7 and 11. What did it say?
The Pharaoh also called the wise men and the sorcerers, now the magicians of Egypt. They also did in a manner with their enchantments.
They also did in like manner with their enchantments. Do y'all see Janus and Jambres there?
No.
I do see wise men. I do see sorcerers. And guess what? We got a whole bunch of wise men and sorcerers. Ain't that something that you can be a wise man and a sorcerer all at the same time? Wise men, sorcerers, and the musicians of Egypt. Because these folks don't want to leave Egypt to go to Israel. They want to be in the country.
Talk about
But
it.
they're wise men, and they're using sorcery,
Talk about it.
and they're in the land of Egypt all at the same time. Ain't that something else?
That's something.
Wise men and sorcery, praying curses against somebody.
Yes. Yes.
Ain't that something else? Supposed to be Hebrews,
Right.
supposed to be Israelites. They're supposed to be wise men, but yet at the same time, they're sorcerers and musicians of Egypt.
Wow.
They ain't talking about going to the Holy Land. They ain't talking about stepping their foot on the soil and connecting with the Yah of Israel. They got all of their stakes in this particular soil and ground here. So we need to know that in Egypt, in the country, there are wise men, and there are sorcerers, and there are folks that are able to work magic.
Wow.
Y'all hearing this?
That's something. That's the word.
Now, Paul called them, let's go back to see what he said about Janus and Jambres. Let's go see. Now, as Janus and Jambres and all those other folks that's trying to send curses my way, withstood Moses, withstood Pastor Tatum, right?
Okay.
So do these also resist the truth. But look what kind of men they were.
Right.
Men of what kind of mind?
Corrupt mind.
Corrupt mind. They were what? Reprobates concerning the faith. Look at this. But they shall proceed no further. So I guess
Hallelujah.
those curses ain't going to proceed no further.
That's it.
Are y'all getting this word?
That's a mouthful.
They shall proceed no further. For their what?
Folly.
Their folly shall be manifest unto all men as theirs also was. So I guess we're going to sing the song of the wines. Ain't no need to worry what tonight is going to bring.
There you go.
Hey, it'll be all over in the morning. Y'all know that one? Come on. Ain't no need to worry. Ain't no need to worry what tonight is gonna bring. Whoa, it'll be all over in the morning. In the morning, come on. In the morning. It'll be all over in the morning. That's what we think about curses being sent to us.
There you go.
Y'all hear
Hallelujah.
that? We turn them back to them 1,000 times over. How's that?
There you go.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
So let's go hit on. So do y'all see the sorcerers' names mentioned? No. But you do see wise men, sorcerers, and the magic men. Okay, watch this. So where did Paul get their names from? We need to look deep. If we're going to look into the books of Joshua and 2 Samuel, we see the book of Jasher is being mentioned there. Let's go see. Is it possible that he got it from the book of Jasher? Let's find out. Here's the book of Joshua. Let's see, is it in there? Let's see, is Jasher being mentioned? Come on, read.
And the sun stood still.
Joshua 10 and 13. Come on.
And the moon stayed.
Yeah.
And the people had avenged themselves upon their enemies.
Come on.
Is not this written in the book of Jasher?
What is this not written in the book of Jasher? Come on.
So the sun stood still in the midst of heaven. It has not to go down about a whole day.
Haste not to go down a whole day. So this is already written in the book of Jasher. How many people have read that verse before, but you never saw that part? Ain't that something? No preachers ever brought it up.
Point it out. This one.
Joshua was fighting, and he was fighting good. And he looked up at the sun and said, "Sun, stand still and just hold out and hang out with us for a little while we kill our enemy." How many people heard that though?
Right.
Say yeah! Right. So, is it not written in the book of Jasher? They skipped over that part. Mm-hmm. Did nobody hear that? Sunday school was marching, right?
Right.
We're all at Sunday school,
Right.
heard the story, but nobody said, but it's written in the book of Jasher. Mm-hmm. Well, where's the book of Jasher at?
Nobody.
Ain't that something?
Mm-hmm.
All right, 2 Samuel 1:18. Come on, what it say?
Also, he bade them teach the children of Judah the use of the bow, of the bow. Behold, it is written in the book of Jasher.
So Judah fighting and using the bow, that was also written in the book of Jasher. Y'all hearing this?
Yes.
So 2 reference points in the Bible tell you that these stories are brought up in the book of Jasher.
That's good.
So I think maybe we need to go find the story that Paul was talking to Timothy about and see is the names of who these people are in the book of Jasher. Because if these names are in the book of Jasher and Paul is quoting from the book of Jasher and he's writing a letter to Timothy with these 2 names in there, then I think that would be suffice to say that the book of Jasher is a book we can teach from.
Yes.
Because all of Paul's letters has been canonized.
Yes.
Why is Paul preaching something that we shouldn't be getting or receiving?
Right.
Are y'all hearing that?
Yes.
So we're about to find out. Are y'all ready to find out?
Yes.
All right, y'all on the edge of your seat, right?
Yes.
All right, let's find out. And we close with this. But before we get to that, Deuteronomy 19:15. Come on.
One witness shall not rise up against a man.
So we need to know that one witness shall not rise up against a man for any iniquity. So if there's only one witness that's raising their voice up against somebody, saying that they did something wrong, one witness ain't good enough.
Come on, right?
One church witness of 1,000 people in that particular ministry, that's still one witness.
Yes.
Are y'all hearing this?
Break it down, man.
One witness shall not rise up against a man for any iniquity.
Yes, sir.
Iniquity means lawlessness. One witness can't rise up. You need a multiplicity of witnesses from different areas, from different other ministries, all speaking and saying the same thing. Come on, what it say? Or for
any sin, in any sin that he sinned.
in any sin that he sinned. One person can't stand up there and accuse you of nothing.
Right.
Not one person. Are you hearing that?
Yes.
One witness.
That's the law. Right.
Okay? So that means if everybody in this congregation is all rising up against you, we still gonna need a second witness. Y'all hear that? Saying the same thing. Y'all getting this?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right? Come on.
At the mouth of 2 witnesses, or at the mouth of 3 witnesses, shall the matter be established.
See, it's different. We talking about you, right? We saying all this stuff. She sinned. She did this stuff. She did that. And then we only have Sister Ashley's word against your word. Now, we need another witness. Okay? And it can't be somebody, it can't be Sister Ashley's daughter.
Right.
It can't be somebody she can control or manipulate or get them to say stuff or get somebody. It can't be done like that.
Right.
It has to be somebody outside of that her sphere of influence and somebody completely different. Can't be people that belong to the church.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
It's got to be somebody else outside of that that can cooperate that witness. Y'all hearing this? Okay? Out of the mouth of 2 witnesses or at the mouth of 3 witnesses shall the matter be established. So if you have multiple people in multiple areas around the world all saying the same thing about you, then guess what? That thing is going to be established. Obviously, this is what's going on. Y'all hear that? All right? The book of Jasher. Y'all ready? We're about to go into it. We're about to see if these names are in there, because if them names are in there, that means I'm able to teach from the same book Paul was preaching from.
That's true.
All right, here we go. Jasher chapter 79, verse 20 to 30. What did it say?
And Moses and Aaron rose up early on the next day.
So we know who Aaron is, right?
Right.
Moses and Aaron, they rose up early on the next day. Come on.
And they went to the house of Pharaoh. They took in their hands the stick of God.
And they took in their hand the what? They had that rod, they had that stick, they had that rod. Come on, what happened?
And when they came to the king's gate, 2 young lions were confined there with iron instruments. And no person went out or came in from before them, unless those whom the king ordered to come. When the conjurers came and drew the lions by their incantations, and this brought them to the king.
So y'all hearing this, right? All right, come on.
And Moses hasted and lifted up the stick upon the lions. And he loosed them. And Moses and Aaron came into the king's house.
So obviously he wasn't scared of no lions.
Right.
But everybody else was. And Moses hastened, lifted up the stick upon the lions, and he loosed them, and Moses and Aaron came in to the king's house. So they couldn't even come up there. They did the old guard things in front of the Pharaoh's place. And they couldn't get in there unless these lions got out the way. So that's what he did. And they moved on out the way and loosed him. He was able to walk on in. Okay, what happened?
The lions also came with them in joy.
Ain't that something? The lions came in with them. What kind of domestication was that? A domesticated lion.
Okay.
But everybody else was scared. Everybody else was scared of the lion. Right. But they came on in. They came on in with Moses with joy. Y'all see, the lions also came with them in joy. Come on. We got something else. It's something with Hebrews and lions, because there was another person by the name of Daniel. He was in the lion's den. They said these lions hadn't ate for a long time. And Daniel looked like a pretty good meal. But something happened to the lions when Daniel was in there. The mouths of the lions were literally bound, was shut. And he was in there in the midst of the lion's den, and everything was all good. Are y'all hearing that? You may be in the, let me give you one of them points that you get back in the day. You may be in the lion's den, but the Father will shut the mouth of the lion and bring you out. Say yeah. See, the lion will eat everybody else, but it won't eat you. Now, people are sending curses, right? Now, the Bible says the devil, as a roaring lion, seeketh whom he may devour. But our people, the ones that were anointed, had the power over the lions. Where we see right here in Moses,
Okay, Pastor.
Moses had power over the lion.
Okay.
So you sending the curse to me, you sending the devil to me, they don't realize I got power over it. Not me, but Yeshua in me.
Yes.
Are y'all hearing that? Hebrews have always dealt with lions. But the Father has always given us the power to overcome every lion. That's a good word, ain't it?
Yes, it is.
What you would have got that at the Baptist church down the street thing? All right. Bible says the lion also came in with joy. And they followed them and rejoiced as a dog rejoices over his master when he comes from the field. Don't tell me this Most High Yah ain't awesome.
Okay. Awesome.
He can make the devil behave. Make the devil rejoice over you. Ain't that something else? Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Look at it. What it say?
And Pharaoh saw this thing.
And when Pharaoh saw this thing, come on,
He was astonished at it.
he was astonished at it. Come on.
And he was greatly terrified at the report.
He was greatly terrified at the report. Come on.
Their appearance was like the appearance of the children of God.
For their appearance was like the appearance of the children of Yah. Moses and Aaron coming in.
See it in them.
You can see the glory and the anointing and the power of the Most High Yah was all over him. And Pharaoh was able to recognize it.
Yes.
See, the wicked is always able to recognize where the anointing is.
Yeah.
Woo! Come on. Wait. Are y'all hearing this?
Yes.
Come on.
And Pharaoh said to Moses, "What do you require?" And he answered him, saying, "The Lord God of the Hebrews has sent us.
No, the Lord God of who?
The Hebrews.
Christians,
Hebrews.
Muslims,
Hebrews.
Apostolic,
Hebrews.
Baptist,
Hebrews.
Lutheran,
Hebrews.
Methodist,
Hebrews.
First Day Church,
Hebrews.
Jehovah's Witnesses,
Hebrews.
the Greeks,
Hebrews.
the Romans,
Hebrews.
the Americans,
Hebrews.
the Babylon.
Hebrews.
So no matter what words you try to place there, he's going to still be, at the end of the day, the Lord God of the Hebrews. That's a good place to give him praise. Y'all know? He's still going to be the Lord God of the Hebrews. The Lord God of the Hebrews have what? Sent us to thee to say what?
Send for my people, that they may serve me.
Send forth my people so they might serve me. And guess what? That's still the same word going out today. Send forth my people. Come out of her, my people. Hallelujah. Come on, what it say?
And when Pharaoh heard their words, he was greatly terrified before them. He said to them, go today and come back tomorrow. Come back to me tomorrow. And they did according to the word of the king.
All right, Pastor John, we looking. You said you're going to 30. You at 26, and I still ain't seen them names, Janice and John Bray. Now you taking us all the way to this story, and we still don't see what Paul is talking about. Now you got 4 more verses to go. If it ain't there, I'm shutting down. All right, here we go. What did it say?
When they had gone, Pharaoh sent for Balaam, the magician, and the Janus and John his sons.
Oh! Read it again.
And when they had gone,
Read loud.
and when they had gone, Pharaoh sent for Balaam, the magician, and to Janus and John his sons.
So who were Janus and Jambres? The son of Balaam, who was hired by Balak to curse the children of Israel. The same one in the book of Numbers. These were his sons. Woo! Wait! Come on!
And to all the magicians and conjurers and counselors which belonged to the king, and they all came and sat before the king.
So Balaam and his 2 sons was right there with him. Watch this. Come on.
And the king told them all the words which Moses and his brother Aaron had spoken to him. The magicians had said to the king, but how came the men to thee on account of the lions which were confined at the gate?
So they had confounded using their magic and their powers and enchantments and sorcery to confound lions at the entrance. So they couldn't get to the Pharaoh. They were using by their power. It made them just be subdued there. And nobody was able to come up there. Nobody, at least they thought they could come up there. Until somebody actually went up there. You went to stick and and kicked through the way and had them things coming like little puppy dogs. Barking after them. Little lap dogs. Y'all hearing this? Same thing happening today. There's folks got folks standing guard, looking tough, looking like little wolves in sheep clothing. Little wolves in sheep clothing. Little baby wolves in sheep clothing. Because the things they preach and teach about is way down elementary stuff. I passed that the first day I met them. Took me about 60 days to learn everything they've been knowing for so-called 25 years. I learned it all in about 2 months.
Hallelujah.
Are y'all hearing that? So here we go. They was wondering, how did he get in there? Because these lions they put there. Come on, what is that?
The king said, because they lifted up their rod against the lions and the beast.
They lifted up their rod, and the rod was anointed by Yah. They lifted up their rod against the lions and loosed them. I guess that's the scripture where Yeshua says he's given us power to bind and loose. Whatever we bind on heaven is bound on earth. Whatever we loose in heaven is loosed on the earth. Y'all hearing this? So they loose the lions. Come on.
The came to me, and the lions also rejoiced at him.
And the lions also rejoiced at them. Come on.
As the dog rejoices to meet his master.
So he observed, these lions are jumping around like little puppy dogs, rejoicing. Ain't that something else? Out of the mouth of two witnesses, everything's going to be what? So we know that to be so. All right, come on.
Balaam, the son of Beor, the magician, answered the king, saying, these are none else than the magicians like ourselves.
So he said, these ain't nothing but like musicians, just like ourselves. But obviously, they must be a little bit stronger than them. And I'm going to let you know that Hebrews and Israelites that are truly anointed by Yah are stronger than any sorcerer, musician, or any other type of person out there working witchcraft and psychic praying. Know that the Most High Yah and His anointed is more stronger than that. Come on and give the Father praise and glory. Hallelujah! Remember, Esau laid his hands on the substance of what belonged to Jacob. Remember the scripture. Come on.
Ye thou shouldest not have looked on their affliction in the day of their calamity.
Hold it. But y'all do understand where he got the name Genesis 9.
Right.
It was in the book of what?
Yes.
So obviously he was quoting from what?
Yes.
When he wrote the letter to Timothy.
Yes, don't have,
So can we preach out of Jasher?
yes, you can.
All right. Come on.
Nor have laid hands on their substance in the day of their calamity. Neither shouldst thou have stood in the crossway to cut off those of this that did escape.
So what I'm showing you here is that because Esau touched and laid hands on the substance of Jacob, that's why we got books missing. We got, books you can't find no more. We find the book, but nobody's talking about the book or preaching from the book or going in the book to see if it sounds like it's inspired or if it's lining up with the other books that we have. Nobody's doing that. So therefore, the book of Jasher would be still a book on the shelf or a book that you ain't never heard of. But I went and I looked at it and said, no, this book is right here. It's right on point. Y'all hear that?
Yes. Yes, to establish the other books.
Jeremiah 16:19. Let's close out with this.
O Lord, my strength and my fortress and my refuge in the day of affliction.
This is what's going to happen. This is a prophecy that's going to be fulfilled by the Gentiles. Come on.
The Gentiles shall come unto thee from the ends of the earth and shall say, surely our fathers have inherited lies, and things wherein there is no profit.
Gentiles will come to you and say, you know what, we done told y'all fairy tales, we done made up stories, because we, our fathers, have inherited lies. So all we can do is repeat the lies over and over again, because we have the power to define. But these Gentiles are going to come from afar to the ends of the earth, and they're going to say, surely our father have inherited lies, vanity, and things wherein there is no profit. So y'all need to be looking forward to the Gentiles coming to you telling you that. Esau's history stolen words. Y'all get something out of that?
Yeah.
Shabbat shalom. Come on, let's pray. Abba Yahweh, we thank you for your anointing, your power, your spirit. We thank you for allowing us one more opportunity.